Yeah, what's up? Welcome to Madhouse Pro. This is my building. If you don't like it, you can get out because it's my building. The time is almost 7:30, right? Gotta hurry up with this video. So let's open up FL Studio 2024. They switched it up on us, right? All right, I was working on a project earlier, and it's called Greasy. Greasy Tea. All right, so as it load up, right? Flare is okay, whatever. All right, mixing. When you're mixing in FL Studio, I'm like in the way. We'll move right here. The question was somebody had problems mixing, and I'm gonna say this: mixing is very subjective sometimes. Sometimes subjective because a lot of people mix a different way. They get different outcomes. Some sound better than the others, and it's gonna be really to your liking and your training of your ears and understanding, right? And if you know how to do it correctly, then you will be all right, right? So, but you know how it's gonna sound when when you listen to it, be like, that don't sound right. Well, that means you're slowly getting getting your ears trained to listen to music to a way to where you want it to sound a certain way, and you know what to do to make it sound correct. So let me move me out the way a little bit. So this is the mixer of FL Studio, right? I just did another thing on some stuff. This is your mixer, right? So I'm gonna hit play. All right. So when it hits, and if it don't sound like what you want it to, uh, there are too many different ways to try to explain this. Something I learned first thing first, because this is how I mix. On these channels over here, this is like before you get to the mixer board, and I think it's linked. Keyword linked. I'm gonna mute this. I'm gonna just play the rest of this stuff. Let me just, for the sake of this video, right? I don't want to give away some of this stuff. People be like jacking my beats. Like he stole my beat. So we just gonna go with this stuff, right? Hamburger, ain't you heard? So all right, so as it hits, we'll go to the mixer. So the kick drum is like on channel 7, hi-hat on 6, another hi-hat on 5, the clap on 4, right? So somebody, when you want your mix to hit, and I will admit, like when it comes to FL Studio, I really don't have to do too much because of the way it's just the way they system set up. But this is the early stages of the mix, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Sometimes when you want things to hit harder, turn that bad boy up. Don't be afraid to turn it up on your channels. You know what I'm saying? You could turn it up in multiple ways. And that's what I'm about to do, right? I'm gonna just do the kick, right? Because I did this earlier. Kick is on channel 7. So when you go to the mixer, which we was just at 7, you see how it's hitting on the scale, right? It's just below 3, right? Then I can look at my audio interface and see that, okay, it's not clipping, right? That's pretty hard, right? So what I did was, from the channel mixer, right? I grabbed that knob, which is right here, and I turned it all the way up so you can turn it down, and you're not gonna get nothing, but I wanted it to smash, right? So I pushed it all the way up. I was like, bet. That's how I want it to sound. Then what I do to check to make sure it's not clipping, you could go to the main channel, right? This is the master channel. It's hidden right up here. You probably can't see depending on. It's not in the red, put it like that. So, but when you click on the master channel, this is going through my virtuals 1 and 2, right? Which then runs back to console. That's another audio routing class. But um, that's what you do. Sometimes you just gotta turn it up off for the thing. I try not to touch these at all. Like when it comes to these, the faders on the mixer, I try not to touch them because I can adjust a lot of stuff right at the VSTs. We using virtual instruments, y'all. So most of the time you could just go and adjust them in there, and just to keep a balance of how do I want it to hear. Adjust it at the source. That's me. That's one thing I do. I adjust it at the source. So we gonna go to this one. Let me unmute this. I'm gonna mute that, right? So looking at the clap, right? That's in the mixer. So right here, right? Clap. I just click this. Now when I adjust my volume here, I took the whole clap out, right? Let me move this out y'all way. Which is right here. You can see this knob. I could turn it right back up. Either right here on the channel or right here, right? To me, this is the source to where I do the up and downs of I want that up, I want that down, or bring it about halfway. If it's too loud, I want it right there, like this hi-hat too, right? I could just touch the knob right there, right? Now, when we go back to the mixer, these channels haven't even been touched. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just adjusting everything right here. And it's just help for me to get like somewhat to close of a better mix for me. So you turn it up or turn it down up in here. Now, in the professional world, you have mix engineers, you have mastering engineers. Their job is to use a set of tools to get this to their liking, which is very subjective to the way maybe you like it. But usually, when you take it to them, they're gonna compress it a little bit and they're gonna make it a little bit louder. But within the medium of whenever you play it on any other system, any system that to where it's gonna sound almost the same. And that's the thing when you're doing mix and mastering, you want no matter which medium they listening to, i.e. headphones, their car, home stereo system, the earbuds, you want it to sound close to about the same in each system. So that's like, you do that, start off by having a great mix. So you want to mix and you want to use some of the same tools, but it's an ear thing, you know what I'm saying? And it's subjective. But you know when it don't sound good, you can send it to somebody else. Like, I know a lot of guys, they ship their stuff off the Pro Tools. Like, hey man, y'all guys, y'all do what y'all got to do in Pro Tools, and they send it to somebody else. So when it comes to mixing, just take your time though. Open your ears, and it's a thing you have to learn. So certain frequencies that you may be like, is this clashing or this don't sound right? Do I need to duck this up under this? It's so many techniques out there. And I'll be the first to say I done watched numerous what you call that, YouTube stuff, you know, to see different techniques on how people mix and master. I do. So you got to look at all that, like, what do I do to get a dope mix? You know what I'm saying? So just really listen. You know what I'm saying? Listen. Always listen. You could solo most of the stuff sometimes to see how it sounds by itself, but overall, it's not going to be played by itself. It's going to be played together with everything else. So you want to listen to everything together and make your adjustments then. And sometimes, and give it a rest. You must rest your ears. You know what I'm saying? I got to hurry get in bed. You must rest your ears. And what I mean by that, you listen to it over and over and over, your ears kind of get conditioned to what you're listening to. So let it sit for a day. Wake up the next day, put it on and be like, okay, I feel good about this. You got to let your ears rest, you know. Ear fatigue, it happens. Just like your eyes can get tired from being up, all that stuff. Your muscles get tired from working out. So your ears are muscle. So remember that. But that's all I got on mixing. I I could tell my best. Find a group of people that you work with a lot. Let them listen to it. Everybody listen different, but they'll tell you if they give you an honest opinion, like take this up down, take this up some, or take this down, which can be done through EQing as well. But we're not gonna get into that. We're just talking. That's an aspect of mixing. So if you send your stuff off to somebody, a mix engineer, they're gonna look at all your tracks and they're gonna do it to where they're comfortable or where they feel like you need an adjustment, and they will adjust accordingly to how they feel. And at the end, if you like it, it'll be dope. And sometimes you don't like it, take it to another mix engineer and watch what happens. You're gonna see how you can get the same tracks, send it to 5 different mix engineers or master engineers, and you're gonna see and listen because you're gonna open your ears to say, what did he or she do different than the other guy? Like, ooh, I like the way the low end hits, or I like the way the hi hats are hitting on the higher frequencies, or that 10,000 hertz range. You'll start learning these terms and in your journey. So yeah, so when mixing, just take your time and let somebody else hear it if you feel like it ain't right. But if you know it ain't right, open your ears. What do you want it to sound like at the end of the day? Let's be honest. Oh, I want it to sound like this. Start taking classes, educate yourself, and you'll come out with a better mix. But hey, this is Madhouse Pro. I'm out. Just a few tips. I hope somebody learned something. Something I'm working on, y'all. Y'all will hear it one day soon. But this Madhouse Pro, and I'm out. Peace.